was extremely upset.
I'm so grateful.
Well, you know,
thank you.
she said that she was smelling something. She says, honey, something is wrong. You'll hear her in the actual video.
Weirdly,
honey, there's something wrong. And I said, okay, go ahead and shut it down. Go ahead and shut it down. And she wanted to keep the ectone running for an extra minute.
For a moment, I'd like to just introduce Dr. Burisch, but before I do, I just wanted to reiterate what Dr. Awadi had said, is that both Dan and I are retired from unacknowledged special access projects at various agencies within the United States government, including DIA, DARPA, NSA, and others. My background is in organization and musicology. Dan is a microbiologist, as many of you know. He's worked on biodefense programs from 1986 onward. As far as being a scientist, from his background in northern projects, he's very protocol-driven. Dan tends to think outside the box quite a bit and back it up with precise analysis. He's actually more than willing to chuck an entire data set into the trash, and in short, that makes him a real joy to work with in the lab.
Thanks. Thank you.
Today what we would like to do is show you a little bit, create a brief overview for you about the research that we're doing up to date, a snapshot. We're looking for thoughts, ideas, and where we might go with it in the future. So ladies and gentlemen, let me please present Dr. Dan Burisch.
Thank you. We saw the phenomenon, and then after we recognized the phenomenon, we tried to make it go away. Not our words, the words of Dr. Jerry Hubbard from JPL in 1971, dealing with a peculiar silicate-associated phenomenon on the surface of Vicor when they were having some difficulties with anomalous organic formation on the surface of a pure silicate. As Stephen Jay Gould said, theories must have histories as well as essences. So we have been searching, hopefully not in vain, for the history involving this unusual phenomenon, which we have been tracking as a side project since 2001. Now that we're retired, we can put the largesse of our time to trying to pin down exactly what this phenomenon may be, what this phenomenon may mean to us. So without further ado,
ready?
What you're watching is, if I can see, okay, I can see it right here.
See it?
On the vertical and on the horizontal is a quartz crystal with no potential applied. It was bathed in salt water, saline, up to 45 parts per thousand. And now you see in live time the phenomenon which we call a portal. We've nicknamed it, we had to call it something, existing a couple microns above the surface of the quartz crystal. And now we're going to turn on and you're going to watch a portal produced along the second axis. You have to actually see it produced to get a feeling of it. And there is the portal being produced along the surface of the vertical axis in a freeze frame. So we asked ourselves what this was. We originally saw something moving along the surface of a rock at the Frenchman Mountain Complex to the northeast of Las Vegas. Now, note to the upper right-hand side of the video, do you see the unusual prolate object and something seeming to be emitting from it? This shocked us. We said, what is this that's coming from this also unknown phenomenon? Could this item actually lead to something in our environment and affect it? Here is raw video showing the stream, as you can see from left to right, which appears like a dark band. This stream, this anomalous unknown pathway, is seemingly what is followed by what we have prudently called particles to their destinations. Again, we call them particles because we had to call them something. They're aggregate bundles of an unknown substance. Here you can see between 2 and 9 of the individual portals and a stream coming from this pulsed laser. It doesn't matter if it's pulsed laser, it doesn't matter if it's continuous laser. Anything between 630 and 680 nanometers, the same sort of an object which Marcia here is using as a laser pen, will evoke the phenomenon with a trade-protected,
Yes, absolutely.
a trade-protected optic strain, which we will be patenting. And as I focus back, now you're seeing raw video here, you're seeing low-res video. We're going to get to the high-res stuff here in a second. What these articles are that are hovering transiently above the surface of any silicate, we don't know. We still don't know. We believe that they're possibly plasma, and we're going to be outlining the basic evidence to support that it's a possible plasma here in a moment. Now, 3 years prior to this circuit, a circuit which can be subdivided and then produces itself on both sides of the subdivision, something like an autocatalytic mechanism, if you take Fleischhacker's definition, was seen 3 years prior. And here you see in the natural coloration of the portals as they're handing substances back and forth. The white dots are the portals, and you can see them actually passing material back and forth, kind of like, well, what I remember the
Harlem Globetrotters.
The Harlem Globetrotters,
Yeah.
with a magic circle, passing the ball back and forth.
Yeah.
Or we can go to Carl Wies's explanation that it's a soccer ball being passed back and forth in the same way that a horizontal gene transfer system may have worked at the time of the origins. So we knew that we were dealing with something special, we knew that we were dealing with something anomalous, and we began investigating further. Here you see the actual coloration with the red applied, the actual coloration of the phenomenon itself. Has anybody seen this before? Does anybody know what this is?
Anybody?
If you do, please let us know, because
Yes.
we would love to disconfirm this.